I've been thinking that I should try and get some corporate sponsorship from these video diaries. The amount of times I've recorded these outside Starbucks, so I've mentioned Starbucks in these diaries, but I'm here again, going to work at Starbucks for the evening. And the last video diary that I released, it was where I was announcing that we are going back to Berlin for the second half of the incubator, which is wonderful news. And I'm going to be bringing you with me as well. But I actually recorded that video probably about week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks ago, because I've been under an embargo to release that video. So I had to hold on until they'd actually spoken to everybody on the incubator and announced who was going through and who wasn't, just so that those announcements came through the official channels rather than me blabbing about it on YouTube and telling everybody early. And that means over the last couple of weeks, there's been a little bit of a lull in activity on the incubator, which has actually been a welcome lull as well. It's allowed me to do a little bit of catch up. And so today has been really nice. It's Sunday today. And I've spent the day with both my daughters. And now, so I've mentioned a few times Arwen on this video diary, who is mine and Lisa's 18-month-old daughter, but I've got older children as well. So I spent time today with my eldest Daisy, who is 20, and we've been to the park all together with Daisy and Arwen, and that's been a lovely way to spend a day. I've spent quite a lot of time this last week or two with my son James as well. So James is currently applying to go to university, so I've been going to a couple of university open weekends with him. We've gone to the cinema a few times, and he is studying film studies and classics, so it always ties in going for a cinema trip with James as well. So this last couple of weeks, it's mean that I've had a little bit of a catch up. I've spent some time with the family. I've caught up with a lot of my Vegan Business Tribe day-to-day work, content creation. I do other consultancy work as well, so it's given me a chance to catch up with that. So it's been really good just to have this little bit of a breathing space in the middle of the incubator. Now we are back to it though. So this current stage of the incubator, it's the online stage. So in between now and when we go back to Berlin, we've got about 2 lectures a week online on Zoom with some really, just brilliant experts in the vegan scene and the not-for-profit scene as well. So I'm going to start attending those from this week, which will be really useful. I'll probably, on the next session, when I've got my laptop with me, go through who's giving us lectures and just talk about some of those people, so you can go look them up, maybe link with them, maybe look at some of the lectures they've done before, because I'm sure they're going to be really, really useful. Just the caliber of the people that they've got involved with this Kickstarting for Good incubator has been phenomenal, so I don't expect that to change anytime soon. Another thing I should really announce is I mentioned there that we are going back to Berlin, and by we I mean me, and you are coming with me through these video diaries. But Lisa and Arwen are going to come to Berlin with me too, because there is the option for the second half of the incubator to extend your time in Berlin so that you're going to be there for 2 weeks instead of 1. And this time that extension is going a week early. So what we've done is we found a very nice Airbnb in Berlin, and the cost of 2 people staying in a hotel these days is pretty much the same as the cost of 1 person. So Lisa and Arwen are going to come with me this time, which is wonderful news, because the last time I went to Berlin for the first half of the incubator, it was quite emotionally hard leaving Lisa and Arwen at home and not seeing them, because, I work from home, Lisa works from home, Arwen is at home, she's not in nursery, Lisa is looking after her. And so we spend almost 24 hours a day together, apart from when I come here to Starbucks. And so leaving them for a week and a half last time was an incredibly difficult thing to do. So the fact they're going to come with me this time is absolutely wonderful. But it's also us testing out something as well. I mean, if you look at why we built something like Vegan Business Tribe, we wanted to have a bit more freedom with how we earned and our work. And one thing that we are incredibly keen to do is to homeschool Arwen. Now, the reason for that is animal agriculture and animal agriculture propaganda, that has absolutely permeated early years education, with Old MacDonald and Baa Black Sheep. When the actual, health visitor first came to visit us after Arwen was born, she gave us a book called Down on the Farm. And on the front cover of this book was this lovely happy cow and this pig and these little fluffy chicks. And so I actually gave that book back to the health visitor and I said, no, thank you. And she said, well, no, this is free. You know, I'm giving these out to all the children in the area. And I said, okay, well, let's take a look at this book. So on this front cover, you've got a pig. That pig is going to be killed at probably 6 months old to be made into meat and bacon. Then you've got a cow. That cow is probably going to live to 3 years old in the dairy industry before it's killed and then replaced by one of its daughters. And this baby chick on the front cover of a book, that's going to be killed likely at 1 day old, especially if it's a male chick. So unless this children's book talks about that and says this is the reality of farming, my daughter's not going to be reading it. And that's quite a thing to say to the health visitor. But she was shocked because she'd never thought about it like that. And she actually went back to our local council and said, you know, should we be giving this kind of stuff out? You know, because this is painting this unreal reality of what happens on farms. You know, so that's a little bit of a vegan win. But that kind of animal propaganda, that animal agriculture propaganda, that continues through early years education into the school system. You know, painting this picture that, you know, happy animals living on the farm. And we don't want that. I don't want Arwen to be exposed to animal agriculture propaganda until she is ready to defend herself against it. And so that means that would be incredibly difficult to put her through the nursery system. It'd be incredibly difficult to put her through early years school system. So we're going to try and homeschool Arwen ourselves. And the upside of doing that and having a business like Vegan Business Tribe, which we run online, means that if we do want to relocate ourselves to somewhere else, almost at the drop of a hat, we can. Because Arwen will still be able to learn and do her schooling wherever we are. Lisa is already getting the curriculum together of what Arwen's going to be learning. I can still work online. So we thought going to Berlin, this would be quite an easy way to test out the start of that lifestyle of being able to just go to different places and work from different places, you know, without having some of those ties. So that's what we're going to do as well. But brilliant that Lisa and Arwen is going to join me. It's going to make my time there probably easier. Again, having an 18-month-old, that could be distracting, but I'm going to be at the incubator. Lisa's going to be exploring Berlin with Arwen, and between us both, we'll be meeting up and spending some time together as well. So that's absolutely wonderful news. So I'm going to head now into Starbucks to do a little bit of catch-up and planning work this evening. I do actually usually work Sundays. And before you have a go at me for neglecting my family, you know, what I tend to do is I swap out Fridays for Sundays. So quite often I will spend Fridays or sometimes Thursdays with Arwen and with Lisa, and then work Sundays instead, because I always find that Sundays are just a lot more productive. No one's really sending you messages, so it's a lot more easy to concentrate and be focused. And if somebody does send you an email or a message, they're not really expecting a reply because, well, it's a Sunday. And if you email somebody, they don't email straight back because they're not usually at their desk because it's a Sunday. So, you know, that's one of my kind of productivity hacks is kind of swap out Sunday, which can be a really productive day for maybe one of the weekdays like Friday. And nobody really wants to work Friday anyway, just to be a little bit more productive. Right, so I'll wrap that one up. Fairly short, fairly sweet, as always. Yeah. And that's it. I don't know what I'll talk about on the next one. I need to talk about, in fact, that's what I'm going to go in and do now, is looking at Vegan Business Tribe is going to remain a for-profit organisation or not-for-profit. I'm going to go do my pros and cons list now. That's why I came here, actually. I've completely forgotten. I might talk a bit about the online sessions that we're going through over the next couple of weeks, just outlining what they are. And maybe talk a bit about collaboration as well. I won't go into that now, but I've been having a few thoughts about more collaboration. There's a lot of people trying to champion different aspects of a vegan business scene, and maybe it's time for us to Avengers-like come together to solve that problem. Vegans assemble. Okay, right. I'm going to go in, get a coffee, do some magic.